Have you noticed, like I certainly have with the people that I've been working with, this deterioration of self-care? And that might not just be necessarily a product of living in a post-pandemic world. It might also be just in terms of the very digital age that we're in at the moment, where we're just blasted with just so many messages. Have you noticed a bit of a deterioration in terms of people looking after themselves and that leading to some potentially negative outcomes in their life?
So I think we're seeing like a weird dichotomy, right? You see these people saying things like, oh, good vibes only, or, oh, I'm California sober, right? Which means that they don't drink alcohol, but they consume a lot of other kinds of like drugs, right? You know, listen, I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, it's this kind of funny dichotomy of that on one side. And then you get also like these biohackers who do really funny things that they're like, okay, I'm going to spend the next 4 hours in a hyperbaric chamber so that it'll extend my life. The problem is the greatest predictor of living a long time, I mean, after genetics, because we currently can't affect genetics to a meaningful degree. There's like some new therapies coming out, but the biggest predictor on the low end is like clean air and water, getting your flu shot, especially when you're older, right? Getting exercise is decent. Quitting drinking is a pretty decent deal. Quitting smoking is a really important thing. But the number 2 greatest predictor is having close friends and family. And the number 1 greatest predictor is something called social integration. It's the number of people you come in contact with in a day. What we're seeing is about since 1950, post-war sentiment in the US begins to decline. The television enters the home, and people go from being parts of active communities like everything from knitting clubs and reading groups and bowling to, in 1985, the average American had 3 close friends besides family. By 2004, we were down to 2, and now it's even lower. And so I would argue that, yes, we're seeing a massive decline in our mental well-being. And one of the biggest issues around that is fundamentally loneliness and a lack of human connection.